And good evening, everybody. We are finally back to our original Spaces podcasts after a several weeks break. We decided, to have one of these because a lot of our listeners were saying that they wanted a little more inclusivity. So, and also today's topic is also a very phenomenal topic, which I thought everybody would be interested to, discuss about together as a bigger group. So Mainul, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining our space after two back-to-back weekends. I thought it'd be great for us to have a free-flowing conversation, as Kawsar mentioned. Let's get it started. We invited two of the special guests on our space today. One is Wahid from TechGlobal Institute, and the other one from Tanvir from Rumor Scanner. Maybe we'll start with giving them a space to just introduce themselves, about themselves and their organization, what they do. A few minutes, it'll be great. We can start with Sam Bhai. Sam's Bhai.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me. I hope you can listen to me. I'm Sam Wahid. Yes, I'm from TechGlobal Institute, and I work as a information integrity researcher there. And TechGlobal Institute is basically a digital rights and research organization, and we mainly focus on ensuring people to have better data-driven understanding of how technology affects people in the global south, countries like Bangladesh, and use those evidences to determine policy decisions. So, that's my short introduction, I guess.
Thank you, Sams. Tanvir Bhai, you are next.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. Hello, I am Tanvir Abir, working as senior fact checker in Rumor Scanner, a fact checking initiative in Bangladesh. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to speak in this discussion today. I introduce our initiative shortly. Rumor Scanner is an independent journalism initiative dedicated to combating rumor, fake news in Bangladesh and providing the public to accurate information. We are the first fact-checking organization in Bangladesh to publish fact-check stories using digital banner in addition to web content. We thoroughly verify and public fact-check on important and viral topics across various categories including politics, society, economics, health, medicine, and many other categories. We never publish a fact check without rigorous verification. Rumor Scanner also operates Bangladesh first WhatsApp fact checking helpline. Anybody can send us link to any potentially misleading post, videos, news related to Bangladesh circulating on online, and we will verify them and publish our findings. In addition to our website, Rumor Scanner maintains active presence on Facebook and many social network. While we have a large community in Facebook because Bangladeshi internet users are more focused on Facebook, so we have we have active presence in there. You can also contact us through Facebook for any verification process. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tanvir Bhai. Before we move on to our topics of discussion, I want to highlight some of the positive things that have been happening in Bangladesh for last 2 days, especially for interim government. As you all know, that United States Secretary General Antonio Guterres is currently visiting Bangladesh, and that actually reflects very well for the IG's image worldwide. So with addition to that, I think it is imperative for us to highlight some of the achievements of the IGs for last 6 or 7 months. I think we all talk about it in different spaces, but I think it'll be appropriate for us to highlight very core achievements, which will be helpful for all pro-Bangladeshi forces out there to help them go where they need to go. So some of the achievements that I can highlight that IG's involved are repaying Taka 620 billion in domestic and foreign loans, which equivalent to 62,000 koti taka. Increased remittance inflow to almost 19 billion US dollar, 4 billion more than last year. They are able to boosted services to almost 22 billion, boosted reserves to 22 billion, which is around 2,140 koti dollar. They significantly control Ramadan food prices effectively, recovered Taka 6.35 billion from Hasina and her families, which is equivalent to 635 koti taka. They are able to increase food subsidies by 12% and also recorded lowest inflation in 22 months in February. On the other front, they are also able to mandate rape investigations in 15 days, which trial should be in 90 days. Lifted FIFA's bans on BFF, which is actually imposed due to Awami League's era corruption time. Raised the government job age limit from 30 to 32. Overhauling school textbooks, removing Hasina's bias syllabus, and also upgrading school head teachers to second-class gazetted officers, which is a significant move. And lastly, obviously, as you know, yesterday hosted UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres for a 4-day visit in Bangladesh, and we all know and we have all seen what impact that had on IG's recognition worldwide. With that in mind, I think I'll hand over the mic to Kawsar bhai.
Thank you, Mainul. So yesterday, just that one photo, or a couple of photos, but that one special photo of the Secretary General wearing a pajama Punjabi, I shared that in my X post and my Facebook post, and they just went viral. They just went viral. It was such a beautiful, such a lovely image of Dr. Yunus and the Secretary General wearing, the white dress. It had so much symbolism in it, the purity of the UN and so much, and that they were together in such a way, in such a friendly, brotherly fashion. I just, I was very emotional at that moment, and I just decided to share it right away. And I guess a lot of Bangladeshi expats also felt that same, because it was like one of the highest, one of my posts that was that most highly shared. And also, and people replied also. So anyways, starting from there, what we want to do is, we want to get into the actual conversation, because we actually promised a conversation today. This is basically, on, the TechGlobal's, a paper, which is called I believe it's called the Anatomy of Disinformation. So, Shams bhai, without, saying anything from our end, we would like you to say, not just about the paper, that report itself, but also expand on it, on why you did it, the reasons behind that. And then once you wrote the report, who did you present it to? Where did it go? Were there any beneficial results that came out of that? So saying, questioning, putting the questions in that kind of frame, I would like you to start. Thank you.
Thank you. So let's start the discussion. All right. So I think I would like to streamline this conversation by saying that there is a restrictive nature in accessing social media data, right? So we only can talk about the disinformation actors, basically, because it's really hard to pinpoint who is doing what, who is posting what, from where. So it's really hard, but at the same time, we then focus mainly on the signals. Like when we try to understand some context or a piece of disinformation, we try to understand who is this for, and which group of people they are targeting, or similar kind of things. So I'd like to start by summarizing some facts that we have tried to unpack, which is the report is basically predominantly focused on X, because we know that X doesn't have any sort of initiative to have collaboration with fact-checking organization, or like Meta has like third-party fact-checking initiative on those platform, but X doesn't have that. So it's really ineffective in this platform, and disinformation circulates around. So when we observe the political transition and the volatile situation in Bangladesh, we have seen a number of disinformation, misinformation has been flooded on X. So that was the reason that we try to investigate on this issue. So that was the core, what should I say, like motivation for us to do this report. And I'm not the only one who were involved in this report. I want to share the name of my co-participants who wrote this report. One of my co-writers were Apon Dash and Muhammad Arafat. So yes, we were working on that. So we have found some clusters of, I would say, clusters of disinformation networks who are participating in amplifying disinformation. So if you allow me a couple of minutes, I would name them. Like, there are some persistent disinformation networks out there. Like, they really have a huge number of followers, and they kind of generate or create disinformation. We would say there are, so we identified them as persistent disinformation networks. And there are some groups of people like think tanks or influencers, or maybe they can be politicians. They are kind of a group who also part of this network. They share, repost, comment, interact with the other actors in the network. And there are more interesting aspect to it. Obviously, media played a very big and big role in sharing and even validating this information. And there are some sock puppet media also there. Sock puppet media, if you want me to describe that, it's something like they act like media, they post like media, they even create photo cards like media. But when you research on them, you won't find any credibility right there, because they are just face of it. They give the impression of that they are media, but they're not. And lastly, one other group of accounts that are involved in this network, which are newly created accounts. Like, obviously, there are thousands of people maybe creating accounts on X on a daily basis. But as I have already said, that there are some signals, like these newly created accounts are within that narrow time frame, and the signals are like the type of disinformation they are spreading, the same kind of disinformation they are interacting with, and providing hashtags in the comment section, like hell lot of it, 10, 20, 50 hashtags. And hashtags are really, emotionally provoking, and account mentions, like any political influential people out there, from Trump to anyone you can think about, they mention their accounts, and also international media personnel and organization itself, they mention those accounts on those disinformation in the comment section. And like synchronized activity, their activities are pretty much similar. We have found in the narrow time frame, they repost it, interact with, and in a narrow time frame repeatedly. So these are the things that we have initially understood and try to make sense of it, try to build an ecosystem of how disinformation interact with. And is there any like coordinated campaigns is going on? So impact, I would say that obviously we focus on fact-checking initiative And we know that this is important. But at the same time, I would say that we try to understand the nuts and bolts, how disinformation actually, transfer to one account to another, and how they get so much engagement. Some disinformation content has millions of views. So what drives them actually? So we try to understand that context as well, side by side, understanding the fact-checking initiative and so on and so forth. So impact analysis is really very hard to say. It is the most difficult part, challenging part, that is there any impact or any good outcome out of it. Like, obviously, the people who are in the government now and many investigative journalists shared this report and try to talk about this. We had a launch event in Bangladesh, Dhaka. So we try to initiate some conversation around it, like how we can tackle them. There are some policy recommendation we try to collect as well to understand how we can tackle this kind of issue and what could be done. So obviously we will talk about that in the letter. So yeah, this is what I can say initially.
So I was looking. I read your the report a couple of times actually. So
Great.
You wrote that there is 70+% when it comes to false information that spreads in X alone, and also very high, also nearly another more than 70% in WhatsApp. So can you elaborate on just that for now? What you mean by that? I mean, what does that percentage actually mean?
All right. Can you rephrase the question a little bit for me to better understand?
Key findings, how disinformation campaigns spread, distribution across major social platforms. So 77% of context was found on X. So what did you exactly mean by that? So we have already shared this, in our X and Facebook platform, so everybody could take a look at it. And then I think, Abir, could you also share it right now in the chat group so people can take a look at it, because this is a very important thing for everybody to read and understand how disinformation is being spread. So what did you mean by this 77% when it comes to X and 71%?
I get it. Right.
That's what I wanted a little bit of clarification. I was a little confused. So
definitely.
That it would be slightly better for us.
Yes. I definitely can shed some light on it. I mean, we have collected unique data, disinformation content from X, right? So, also we have also, try to understand when a piece of disinformation, or malign content, shared on X, how it is cross-posted on other platforms as well, like Facebook or YouTube. So it's like the feedback from the data set. All right. So the data set we have built so far, so that represents the 77% of disinformation actually are from X. And there are also a data that 35% of content actually cross-posted on X, on Facebook, on YouTube. If I say that I have found a media organization posted a misleading information on X, it also obviously share on Facebook page, and if it's a video format, then on YouTube as well. So this is the actual distribution of disinformation on major social media platforms.
Right.
So this distribution over time.
I see.
Right.
So when you did your, this was like a statistical analysis, right? A data set. So how much was your, how big was the survey that you did?
Okay, all right. So it was actually a part of a broader research context. So when we have collected already 100 data points, and we have gone through around 1,000, more than 1,000 actually, and then we have sampled this data after data cleaning, and then we worked on that 100 piece of content very unique and specific content with case analysis. And obviously all the content were like either dealt with any fact-checking initiative from Bangladesh, India, or any other organization, and also verified by us as well, because we also do have some experiences in fact-checking. I was in FactWatch for a couple of years. So that was the process.
Okay, so why I'm asking this is so that people really get to understand that this was actually a very well done, very scientifically approached paper that you did, right? I mean, very, very scientifically approached. It's not something that just somebody you slapped it together and that was that, right? So it's very nicely done. I mean, I read it twice. I read it again this morning and yesterday again, a couple of times by now.
Thank
So
you.
I was amazed at how, precise you were about these things, and all the details that you had given is just amazing. So, my hats off and congratulations to you and your friends who put, this was very painstakingly done. But just one clarification. When was this put together? I believe it was in November or sometime like that, right?
So the report published in December, but as I have said that this is a part of the longer research project, so we are still working on it, and our next report will be published somewhere maybe in a couple of months.
Okay, so then let me tie something that now. So one thing that I'm trying to do a study, and some of our team members in the alliance, we're also, whenever we get time, we're trying to study on the root of how the BJP IT cell was created. We want to do a presentation on that maybe down the road. Just a very factual, nothing. We don't want to be punching anybody's bag and stuff like that. But we want to do that and just so that we can understand what's going on. But
Right.
one thing that I'm seeing now in the past month or so, there are certain, very, big handles in X, especially, who are very proactively talking whatever was coming out of the Indian IT cell, right? So they were like the lead, and then once they led, and then everybody else followed. But for the past month onward, I've been seeing these handles. I don't know, maybe we can name them like Chris Blackburn and some others, right? So now they've moved on and now they're talking more about Awami League talking points, right? And
Right.
and then they've been pushing the Awami League's narrative on, like right now they're talking about, the minority issue is a little bit of a back burner for them. So now the rape and female repression and all that, they're talking all that nonsense. So Awami League is doing that locally, and I'm seeing these handles, these acolytes of, Joy are like emanating that. So what do you see? What does your data tell you?
All right. Okay. So before I can answer to that, or maybe shed some light on that.
I'm not putting you in the spot. I'm just saying, what are your feelings now? Because obviously you're doing the research now, right? So I don't want to put you in the spot there.
Okay. I mean, as I have already mentioned, like some kind of signals, right?
Right.
Who is talking what and what interest they are serving. So we also have found that, like, if I say, far right ideology, the Indian politics is kind of share the similar talking points and the narratives they are trying to spread. So there are some similarities in that they're kindly I would say that they are aligned with that kind of narratives. So if you just ask me that, I will say yes, that there are some correlation to the same narratives that Awami League, the previous government, and what the far right ideology of India has, I'd say.
Okay. So now I think we've spoken quite a bit, Shams bhai. So I would like to invite Tanvir bhai into the, he hasn't spoken for a bit. So now I would like to invite him. And Tanvir bhai, can you see, what are you seeing, or what is Rumor Scanner seeing? Specifically, what kind of, what is the campaign that's going on now? What kind of campaign is the Awami League IT cell doing, and what is the campaign the Indian IT cells are doing against Bangladesh 2.0. What are your thoughts into that?
Okay. First of all, Shams Bhai and their team done a great job. We appreciate this type of research because we closely monitor this situation from very first August until now. Because this is our work, so we have to monitor. We have a similar research. We ours have a dedicated unit which we called reverse scanner investigation unit. This unit has identified 50 account on X. I am we This account have been actively spreading communal narrative by sharing image, video, information related recent event from August, because this account continuously till now continuously spreading this type of image, video, information, which they divert any issues in Bangladesh that is the normal issue, general issue, family problem, or political issue. They divert it on the communal narrative. This type of this 50 account till now they are very active. We identified them on August. We published the report this report on 17 August. And we now we till now monitor that this account. They are very active from when and they in August they sharing image, video, information related to this event on August uprising, and now they continuously spreading this type of image, video, information, and they continue their campaign, and the main threat is that the Indian media, we identified 72 Indian media outlets in January this year. They are published total of 137 report on 32 topic containing misinformation about Bangladesh. We verified this 72 Indian media, and this is a very threatening matter that these 72 Indian medias are the mainstream media in this country, which we very much familiar that like ANI in Asian News International, then Times of India, this type of media. So they closely and continuously monitor our issues, and they pick them incidents, videos, contents, and publish them as a communal issue, as a unrest issue, which is our very familiar matter and for political matter. But they showed their audience as a communal issue, as a political unrest, and the interim governments against issues. So we continuously monitor them, and till now they did not stop. And I think we all are know the Republic Bangla, which is very common Indian channel, which we closely monitor, and I think we did not know this channel before August, and we now we are very much familiar with this channel, and they are continuously spread rumors and unethical issues, and I think they and strange issues as a communal, as a political biasness. So this is very harmful for Bangladeshi people to see these things as a as a neighbor country, to see this campaigning as from the mainstream media and X accounts from India. So that's it. this is our two research. I will put that link in comments.
If you would share it with
So
us also, so we can, time to time, we can also do some sort of study. Our alliance can do some study, and then because we need to keep working on this, all of us together, so that would
yes,
help the country, right? So I think you just shared something, right? Right? Okay, great.
yes.
Thank you.
Uh,
So I also put up this one, like this diagram that we have been following. A friend of ours shared how the disinformation media model works. So this is like the mass deluge of fake news across X.
Right.
That's the first part. And then the mass media legitimized by reporting, which is what you said. The 70 plus news media organizations in India doing that. And then the politicians start condemning whatever, reports come from the mass media. Then this becomes the accepted truth. And then they start again with the next lie or disinformation, right? So this is like a cycle that keeps on going on and on and on. I mean, it's never ending for us. So next, I would like to discuss. Yesterday there was a topic in Next with Shojib Joy. He had shared about this, how this particular organization is demanding that $250 million that the Canadian government is going to be giving for aid be stopped. So, Mainul, would you discuss about that, and then we can ask our two guests to, give their thoughts about it. Mainul, are you there, Mainul?
He's rejoining. So if you continue, we'll catch him.
No, I've just sent it to him. What happened? For some reason he dropped out.
Yeah, he just got disconnected. We're reconnecting him. He'll be on shortly.
Okay, then let us talk about what's going on today, though. Sheikh Hasina's apparently her Chachacho Bhai has now a new name. So, Tanvir Bhai, what do you know about that? What do you know about that?
I just saw your ex post. We are working on this issue,
Okay,
and we reached this final task. So we will publish a story about this. This is an interesting
right,
issue. That Aadhaar card is this is called Aadhaar card in
right.
India. Which is similar in our birth certification in
Mhm.
Bangladesh, which we call Janmo
Right.
Nibandhan. So this this is very interesting that his father name shows that Modi. I just forget this name, which is a very funny things. So we talk about this issue on Indians
Mhm.
manufacturers to solve the final distribution, and we get some point. So I can't say any more because this is ongoing issue, and we will work. We're working on this continuously. So I think we will publish a story if we finally reach the destination of this issue.
Okay, so just for this, so a lot of people might not be knowing this that Sheikh Salahuddin, that's his actual name. He's the upon Chachato Bhai, which means father's brother. He is now in Calcutta. I heard from a source who's an ex-Awami Leaguer also. So from living, I think currently either in England or someplace, that person reached out to me and gave me this much information that this gentleman right now is in Calcutta, allegedly. I think Tanvir Bhai we can come back to that later to us. But he is now known as Bidan Mollik, and his
It is Bidhan Mollik,
Bidan Mollik.
and the interesting fact is that the father's name shows that
Mudin
Modi
Nirandranath
Nindranath Mollik,
Mollik, right?
which is is very funny and similar to the Indian
Prime
Prime Minister's
Minister's,
name.
right. And so he's living a good life in Calcutta. But I also heard, if maybe you can also do this research. Another person reached out to me who lives in Dhaka, and he said that his wife apparently is in Dhaka right now and living the good life. So maybe you could do good research on that one.
Yeah, sure. And we will publish this story. I will send for your
Please.
viewers the link, and that they will find fruitful.
Okay. So, Tanvir bhai, do you know about what happened with the Global Justice Network Foundation? Do you know anything about that? Which Joy he broke that one yesterday, and we immediately we went to it because the bad part was that this is a fake organization, the Global Justice Network Foundation. This is apparently a fake. Yeah. Do you know anything about that?
No, I don't know any of that. I just saw this link he shared.
Right.
Inshallah, we will
Right.
work.
So from whatever our team found out, because we are not fact checkers like you guys, but we spent a couple of hours because a friend from the US shared that link first with us, and then we immediately went into it. We didn't find any IRS, linked to this Global Justice Network Foundation organization. They factually or allegedly will say that there is no real organization or foundation like that in the US, because otherwise it would be in the IRS database, right? So we couldn't find any. And so they have this very, very fictitious website with nothing in it, just some basic blah blah information. And then they had Salahuddin Shoaib Chowdhury's magazine. I don't even want to call it a magazine. This is more like a satire newspaper to me. So
He himself as an rumor spreader.
it's a big rumor.
We always detect him as a rumor spreader.
Right. So what happens is that this alleged foundation.
He continuously spread rumor on
Right.
X, and it is very alarming. And as a Bangladeshi, he work against Bangladeshi people. See, it is so alarming.
Very alarming. He's always writing. Today he wrote to Tulsi Gabbard. So saying that she should, stop everything for Bangladesh, all that. But anyways, I just want to expand on this, and then, you can come back later with your detailed analysis. So what happens is this so-called fictitious foundation writes a letter to the Canadian minister saying that this the foundation the aid that is coming, the $250 million aid that's coming to Bangladesh should be stopped. Why? Because there are human rights abuses. The minorities are getting killed. Then the women are getting raped and all that. So it should be stopped. So this is allegedly a fake organization. And then Salahuddin Chowdhury's so-called newspaper takes this and makes this into a big deal, saying that this is a very big organization that has told the Canadian government to stop this fund from going in. And then Joyce shares that and spreads it, and then from there it goes on to 100 other people, right? I mean, then all his minions start sharing. So then we did our little bit of whatever research we could, and we found that this is all just them just playing tag, like that thing I show, or I just spoke about, that the diagram, right? So they start that, and then it spreads and spreads and spreads, right? So we would still be very happy if you could get into the really detail of that and find more information for us. But what I found very ironic and very sad is that a revered organization like AP actually publishes this disinformation. They actually published it. So that is what I find really sad. And a report should actually go out to the AP saying that, look, you should be retracting this. You should be saying sorry, because this is not genuine information, right? So that's
This
what I
is
just.
this is not a news itself. It's a press release, I think, and press release can be published as from PR on a daily basis. So these AP, Reuters, and similar agencies are continuously publish this type of press release with obviously
No,
from
but then Tanvir bhai, that's fine. But
the-
shouldn't they be actually be checking that if this is a genuine organization? I mean, if it's not a genuine organization,
it should
why should they even?
it should be verified and cross checked.
That's
But
what I'm trying to say, right?
yes, we previously saw this type of there are some events that similarly publish this type of agencies press release which are manipulated, and rumors and misinformation uh, are held in this press release. So we think that this is a financial terms of a press release that PR sent, and they without cross check, without verify, they published as the PR sent. I see this sent from Saifur Rahman, director.
Right, right.
This he's Bangladeshi, I think.
Yes, he's
Global
Bangladeshi.
Justice
I believe from what I read in his ex profile, he lives in Switzerland or someplace.
This is alarming issue.
So that's
So
what
okay,
I'm
we will work.
saying. AP should have done their due diligence before, even if it's a press release. Why would something such a fake disinformation come out even in the AP website, right?
Yes.
So that is what I'm trying to get at. So they should make a retraction. So say this is wrong. Whatever we did, we didn't do due diligence before we shared it, because now Joy and all his friends are gonna be sharing it all over the world, right? Making it give this idea that this is a real story. Right.
They are always ready to share this type of content. So this is the chance for them to
Mhm.
share this type of misinformation content.
Right. Okay. Can I then ask Shams bhai to jump back in a little bit, and we can talk a little bit about troll farming and keyboard armies. So, what can you say about these two topics, Shams bhai?
All right, thank you. I guess we were talking about really specific case, and I was really thrilled. And yeah, obviously, I mean, we need to focus on specific cases and fact check, and we need to understand how it has been said and why, like this kind of things. But as we try to understand and try to unpack the strategies they use to disseminate the information, how they work, what are the operational dynamics are. So in those things we try to understand their strategies, and we found out that there's something called troll farms. So troll farm is a thing that it's an organized group when you're talking about the diaspora group, right? So or the media group, or maybe there are some organized group. They can be state sponsored group, and they actually try to drive propaganda and manipulation, information manipulation, and public knowledge about certain things. So as you have shared the diagram, so you have to flood with a lot of information, a lot of fake news or misleading information, so that something will stick, something that you probably don't always cross check every piece of information as a user, as a social media user. So there are some strategies underneath. So that works as a group, and they try to post fake news, misleading information, propaganda, and producing a lot of hashtags, and amplify specific narrative to manipulate public opinion. And there also something called keyboard armies, and compared to the troll farms, they can be a little bit decentralized. They act as individual, like influencers. They act as individual, but they are part of the game. They have could be, political interest to align with. So they kind of share the same narrative, the disinformation narrative, with others. Like you talked about Joy. So these kind of groups are actually aligned with the same kind of disinformation and share the same disinformation and interact with. And other strategies I have, I can mention one is whataboutism. It's funny. When during the political transition, when we try to, when some of our representative probably talk to international media or even Indian media and to just speak out that some minority attacks, obviously that happen, but we cannot actually say that those are religiously motivated. Those can be also part of the political thing, like supporters of Awami League. So that was also the case. But their whataboutism is like, okay, that is not right. That did not happen. But what about this one? This one must have happened. But this is the kind of game, like you have produced so much misleading information, so some of it should be or must be right. So these are the kind of strategies that we have identified. And I would say that that is the reason that we are also focusing on we should focus on expanding digital literacy and digital literacy and also understand how disinformation works. This is what I can share about the strategies right now.
So
Yeah.
I was just one thing, how do we actually fight back? I mean, BD 2.0, how do we fight back?
That's complicated.
So that's the $1 million question for us,
right?
Because now they're taking this thing and they're taking it to such an extent, especially certain people, the BJP, aligned people in the US, they're doing it to malign the Bangladesh government. They're trying to stop our exports, the garments exports. I mean, they're trying in so many different ways to set us back. It is just unbelievable. And a lot of the people who are the powers that be in Bangladesh are not even realizing the extent of the deception and the power play that they're trying to do all over the world, to destroy BD 2.0. This is what I'm most worried about. That's what really, if anybody asks me what keeps you awake at night, I mean, that thing really keeps me awake at night when I think that. So, Mainul, so why don't we start with now questions from our friends, who've been very patient.
Before I go there, I have one quick question to Science Bhai. I was disconnected for a bit. Science Bhai, I know that your report mentioned between August and November about 20 hashtags on X, right? And you mentioned Save Hindus in Bangladesh and Bangladesh Hindus Genocide is the top hashtag that are used. Now, as far as I know, recently, I think Elon Musk himself mentioned that hashtags are no longer effective, right? Now, point is that are you still leveraging that tactics when I know that you were working on another report for coming weeks or months. Are you focusing still on the hashtag part, or is it kind of obsolete now given what changes happen on X?
All right. So I would say that we know some actually hashtag doesn't work that much in driving some kind of conversation or play the part in reaching more audience. But the problem is probably many of us don't know that. All right. The social media users don't know that. They still feel that when you comment, when you produce a number of hashtags and mentioning accounts, that will help. So the the game is designed by them. So we are here to detect it, right? So whether it is effective or not, that's not the case. We can just probably can talk about that this won't help them actually to get more reach. But this is the part of the game they are playing. This is the part of the campaign, the design, or how they think that this will help them. So as you can see, those hashtags actually can create people's perception. I mean, try to influence people's perception who are watching it, right? Like you are seeing that help Bangladeshi Hindus, or ethnic cleansing in Bangladesh, or Hindu genocides. You are constantly watching it. And if I can go in that thing, like how our brains works, like the more you see something, the more it will become believable. This is like very simple idea in brain science. So it actually helps them in either way, like whether probably this platform specific thing is not working, but people are watching it. People are watching it on social media, like Hindu genocide is happening. So people are really concerned. So that's why probably we will still include this kind of strategy.
Thank you. That helps, definitely.
Thank you.
We are opening to our audience. Let's see. Abir, did you see anybody requesting thus far?
I have one request, and it's
I would
from.
like guys. I would just like Afzar Bhai. He's a very. I like the way he his post. I love his post. So I would like him to show up sometime in
So,
today's session. I mean, that'd be lovely because I like the way I love how his mind works.
sure.
So if you're listening, Afzar Bhai, or is that how you spell it? Asvar?
I don't think he's on audio.
His email.
Um,
Yes,
So who do
yeah,
we? And then we have Shumon Bhai back today. So that's nice.
yes. So first we're going to let Junaid speak, and then we can probably go periodically queue as
Yeah.
Suman Bhai, Absvar Bhai. So Junaid, the mic is on yours. And
Okay, awesome. Thank you. It's really great to interact with like-minded people, obviously. So first of all, I appreciate all the hard work everyone's providing. I've interacted with a few folks, obviously, Kawsar Bhai. We had a couple of conversations. I wanted to talk about the question you posed in terms of like, how are we going to fight this disinformation campaign? And I think there are a couple of strategies we can adopt. The first one is we are not alone in this fight. We know that there's a extensive report that was published by the World Economic Forum that identified India as the biggest source of disinformation. So that is already out there, and there's a lot of other prominent players who are also victims of disinformation. So our strategy should be to identify and ally with those partners so that we have like a strength in numbers, because we're fighting with an entity that's much bigger than the Bangladesh government, the interim government at this point in time. So that's the first one. And the second one, personally, I know that within Canada there was recently an agent identified, and that's one of many things that happened in Canada in terms of Indian disinformation and targeting of like dissident minorities, especially Punjabis. This is called the Srivastava group. So those who don't know may do their research on like how the Canadian government identified them as raw agents and sort of kicked them out of the country. So that's another angle where we can identify this prevalent news around the world that are also sharing the same grief that we are suffering from. So those are the two things I wanted to bring up. Thank you.
Thank you. So who's next?
Saqib is next.
Saqib is next. Saqib, you're on.
Maybe he got disconnected.
If Saqib is disconnected, maybe we can ask Shumon Bhai to say a few words.
Yeah, I send him the request. Whoever is listening, feel free to send your requests and we can accommodate as many as we can. Please.
Yeah, I see Saqib on. Saqib, you're on. You can speak now. I think he's on mute. Saqib, you're on mute. You just have to take yourself off mute.
Can I be heard?
Yes, please go ahead.
Is the background noise okay? Maybe I should.
Everything is fine. Just ask your question, please.
So I think we need to invest in information-related, businesses. Things like media companies, stuff like back in 7 or 8 years ago, WI1 didn't exist, and many countries have decided to invest in information-related businesses like news businesses, news media. Turkey invested in TR. I think I don't recall their public broadcaster, something like RT, Russia Today, which was rebranded to RT, and India now has several of them, especially WI1, and it's Mouthpiece Parthy Sharma recently interviewed the French president. So India is projecting its power through the news media, and it's no longer just America. Back in the 2000s and the 1990s, it was just America who was using soft power, but now Qatar has Al Jazeera. China is using SCMP and maybe TikTok as well. So all the other countries are investing in news media, but we are not putting our money where our mouth is, and that's the big problem. We need our big guys, the people who have a lot of money, maybe a community of 100 businessmen to come forward and invest in news media so that we can also project our.
That's a fantastic question. So I'll hand it over to Kawsar Bhai, and then we can go to Tanvir Bhai and Shams Bhai about the development of media and what kind of role media can play.
No, I was hoping that they would have questions for our guests. I mean, we speak a lot, right? So any particular questions to our two guests here? So Tuhin Bhai, you're here today. So do you have a few questions? Tuhin Bhai, you can hear me?
He's not a speaker yet. Oh, I see. There you go. Yeah, go ahead.
I sent him a speaker request. Let's see if he accepts.
So there was a question in the chat about the recent fake news about Bangladesh army being propagated from Indian media, and there's a cartoon from the Daily Inqilab bringing highlight to that issue. So I'm not sure, Kawsar Bhai, if we would like to. Oh, there we go. Yeah,
no, I think better if Tanvir Bhai has something to say about that. What his research says, or even Shams Bhai.
Sure. So Tanvir Bhai, we do have this question from based on a cartoon.
Is that for failed cop issues recent Bangladesh Army?
Yes.
Okay. We already published a fact check related to this issue. Okay, I summarize this. Recently, Bangladesh Army Chief General Wakuruzaman, he went to Central African Republic. So he returned to the country on March 6 or 7. So Indian media and social media platform have claimed that upon his return, Army Chief did not land at Dhaka Shahjalal Airport, but instead landed at TechGlobal Airport. This sounds interesting that at Tezgao Airport is not functional for an foreign flight. But they claim that the Army chief landed at Tezgao, and additionally they claim that there was an attempt cop within the Bangladesh Army. Reports alleged that Lieutenant General Fazlur Rahman, name mentioned, and 11 other army officers were involved in this attempt. So we investigate that and found that this is entirely false. The ISPR, which means Inter-Service Public Relations, which are a spokesperson from Army, they confirmed us that the claim is baseless. And I spoke to ISPR director. He said me that he himself was in the flight with Army chief from returning. So he said to me that they are landed at Shahjalal Airport, not in Tezgao, and the COP issues are entirely false. So this is the fact check we published, and we found that many Indian media, I mentioned Astak Bangla, Economic Times, India Today, Times Now, this is the mainstream media. They are the mainstream media, so they publish this fake news, and many other Facebook posts, X posts are also claiming this type of issue. So this is the fact check report. That's it.
Thank you so much. That really clarifies and debunks the myth that was going on. Just want to check with Shams Bhai as well. As part of your research, have you been exposed to any of this about the fake coup attempt?
I mean, this type of spreading of disinformation from media, you're talking?
Specifically about the failed coup attempt and the fake story that has been going on last couple of days. If you have
sorry,
looked into it.
I haven't encountered this report, so Tanvir Bhai had to say and explain that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. I know Trish has joined us as a speaker, and Trish had some excellent questions in the comments.
Sure.
Before we go to Trish, Mainul Bhai or Kawsar Bhai, did you want to have any comments?
No, we're all good.
No, because that's something that I think Tanvir Bhai, it was better that he replied.
Yeah.
It would have been speculation on our part, right? That's why we didn't want to say anything.
Perfect.
Right.
All right, let's go to Trish. Trish, you're on.
Yeah. Hi, Tanvir Bhai. Hi, Shams Bhai. Thanks for joining. So my question was, I was curious if this is something you guys have thought about, or if this is something you've thought about in the past or want to pursue. So when we think about sort of government projects, right? Infrastructure projects, there's these public-private partnerships, right? Somebody's going to build a bridge. There's private funding, public funding. It's a joint initiative, right? Mm-hmm. In this new world of kind of digital information wars and things, have you guys considered partnering up with the interim government to almost in a way serve as the fact-checking and information propagation function? The reason why I ask that is I think we've had some really great conversations with Shofiq Bhai in previous spaces under the Bangladesh America Alliance. Right. And he seems to be very aware of the information war that's happening across different platforms. But one thing that was clear to us is there is like a problem of potential like resourcing, right? Resource constraints, limited resources. So have you guys from the TechGlobal Institute as well as from Rumor Scanner considered potential partnerships with the interim government with fighting disinformation?
Right. Can I take that? I mean,
of course you can take it.
Okay. All right. So probably I'll give something like very on a surface level, but yes, we try to invite policymakers from different organizations to understand the $1 million question, like how we do fight it. So and at part of the conversation, we also shed some light on, is there anything that we can do to collaborate with government, and is it good, or it will create more chaos? So you can think about like this, that when a state verifies something, or gives a verdict of something, you cannot question it. An independent fact checker cannot, or maybe won't, choose to present conflicting evidence. So that is actually problematic. So that's why they called like independent fact-checking initiative, because it's independent. You can do open source investigation and present the report. So there is no involvement, there is no pressure, there is no connection with government. But if I have to answer that, I think that this community and the fact-checking community should be separated, because that would create more skepticism if government is involved in that. But at the same time, I would say that obviously we need to invest more on research thing. We need to understand the disinformation, the economy of disinformation. So the research initiative could be done through like professional collaboration with researchers. So produce frameworks and to understand the dynamics of like local, and even to understand foreign malign interference, like how India or maybe some other countries are doing during the political transition. So I don't know if I answered your question or not, but this is how I think.
No, that's really helpful. And then, sorry, go ahead. I think Shamspai or somebody was about to speak. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying, Trish, if you have any other questions, otherwise we'll move to the next guest.
I just want to table a question. This is something I'd love to hear at the very end before we hang up. I'd love to hear Shamspai and Tanvir from both of you. Like, we have people represented here from 3 pretty big communities, and there's overlaps across these communities. It's the Bangladesh America Alliance. I'm seeing some people here from the team SSBBK, Shadhin Bangla Betar Kendra, and Bangladesh 2.0. I'd love to hear, like, as parting statements from you guys, like, what can these communities on X do to help with, with refuting misinformation, things like that. So hopefully if we have some time at the end, I'd love to hear kind of a comment on that.
Thank you, Trish. Next up is Reform Biri.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, you're on.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I have a question for Tanvir Bhai, but before I ask my question, I would like to express my appreciation for everyone in the community and what everyone has done. I am truly grateful to be a part of this community and to see what we have achieved, how much we have shaken up the enemy. And I just wanted to say that before my question. My question for Tanvir Bhai is that if someone wanted to do what Tanvir Bhai and the other fact checkers at the rumors can do, but at an individual level and on a much smaller scale, obviously, what are the main pitfalls that they must avoid? And that is it.
Okay, good question. People are interested. I personally see the people are interested in fact-checking field, but we always inspire people to work independently, because fact-checking itself is a challenging field. So any of the people have some initial research ability, like reverse image search, primary data cross check. So they independently verify the initial claim, and I see many people debunk many issues independently. So and these are very accurate. So we appreciate to the people and in this matter. And we encourage people to send their inquiry and send their interested field to a specific issue or any findings they found to send us in WhatsApp, our 7 WhatsApp number and Facebook page, and then we collaborate. We ensure and collaborate with them, and we credit them and to our fact checks if it is coverable or and publishable in our website. Thank you.
Thank you. Looks like Farhanapa has something to ask. Farhanapa, you're on.
Yeah. Hi. Thanks, Mainul. Hi, everyone. I'm Farhana Sultana. I'm part of the Bangladesh America Alliance. Many of you know me because I've been fighting misinformation against Bangladesh since last year, almost daily. I've been very active and across these different communities. And what I would just wanted to mention is that I appreciate that more and more young Bangladeshis are joining Twitter, but I would encourage everyone to reach out to other people they know to join. This is something I tried very hard to do during July and August as our students were being massacred and Bangladesh was under curfew or internet blockout. As somebody who's currently based as a professor in the United States, trying to raise awareness with media, I was trying to get more and more people to Twitter. So that's one thing we can do if we increase the number of people who are there, and they can help support each other. So many of us come under disinformation attack when we confront it, when we counter it. We see the swarms of the paid BJP IT cell trolls. They make money off of this sort of engagement farming. So we can't, counter that. We're not doing it for money. We're doing it because we care about our country. We care about truth. We care about accurate representation. We care about supporting different voices. So I would encourage everyone to support, for instance, what Shams talked about, what TechGlobal Institute has done. Check out their work, learn. So you're armed with more information and evidence. Look at what Tanvir talked about in terms of what Rumor Scanner is doing, relay information to them. You can also follow different people like Sohanur Rahman from Rumor Scanner who are, debunking material almost on a daily basis as it happens in real life. So in the instance when you see information about Bangladesh or Bangladeshis or allies come under attack, please do participate in supporting that person. I think this is really important. And share factual evidence, and then you can then retweet. So instead of focusing inward, which is what a lot of people are doing, and of course we should focus inward, there are a lot of problems, but the massive disinformation is coming from the former regime, which is both inside Bangladesh but also based in India and abroad, whether it's Canada, America, the UK, or somewhere else in Europe or Australia. And it is in their interest to create this form of disharmony, right? They want to get their revenge in. So if we want to have a positive outcome for Bangladesh, I really think it is important to continue to fight this disinformation, but create the alliances that others had mentioned in terms of communities that are also facing the various forms of disinformation coming out of the Indian regime. So in this sense, I think it is incredibly important that we are currently allying across communities. A lot of the Sikh community who have been under attack in Canada, that was mentioned by somebody, we're working with them. We're working with various friends of Bangladesh, allies of Bangladesh in different sectors. So I don't want anyone to feel alone. This is what I'm trying to say. I know one person mentioned that what can I do? One drop is still a part of the ocean. So if you want to become part of the ocean, you have to build collectives and build alliances. So, come join us, follow us on, support Bangladesh America Alliance, support other groups, support all the groups, but then also support each other and encourage other people to join Twitter, to speak out, to have confidence in their voice. and also help educate people, build awareness, which is what we're trying to do. And we're here to help. So please do reach out, see what information we've shared, see what information Shams and Tanvir and their colleagues have shared. And I think this is critically important that we participate in arming ourselves with the facts, because the disinformation army is much bigger, and they are interested in this not just for revenge, but for geopolitical retake over Bangladesh and access to our resources, our land, our water, our gas, everything, right? And transit, but also jobs, high-paying jobs in Bangladesh. So when you think about it, Bangladesh becoming independent and strong in its own right is not what people, our enemies, want. So if we want to be part of that journey, we have to do our part, and we can't do it alone, so we must do it together. So I really want to encourage everyone to reach out into their communities, into their friends, families, to encourage them to get involved and not get disheartened. Because if you get disheartened, then the enemy wins. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Okay, let me address a little bit of what Trish was asking, Shams Bhai. So Farhana and I have been speaking to Shafiq Bhai quite a few times on how, whether the government should actually be doing this, helping people, doing fact checking and stuff like that. And I think Tanvir Bhai, I think you said it, that then if the government gets involved, then it no longer remains independent. So Shafiq Bhai's point of view is exactly that this independent fact checking should be independent. We should be doing it separately from the government. We have to do it, privately.
Right.
We have to work together, and let's see how much bigger we can be, separately, our organizations. We'll try to pool our resources, stuff like that. But he's always clarified that because the IG is here today and then he'll be gone tomorrow. So they don't want to leave behind an impression that they kind of somehow set up another BJP IT cell kind of, set up, it sends all the wrong signals, right? So this is what the IG has told us, at least the representatives of the IG has told us. So that's why we are doing whatever we can by our own means, and giving utilizing our free time whenever we get free time. I mean, some of us, I think, put in more than 30 hours a week, Farhana and myself included. Some weeks, I think the two of us put in 40 or more, and also Mainul and Abir, right? So, I mean, so whatever free time we get, and our better halves are always screaming at us that, hey, what the hell are you guys doing, right? But then eventually they realize that this is good stuff. So, now I don't get that flag that much as I used to before. So, is there anybody else who wants to have a last few questions? Otherwise, I'll ask our guest to say some parting words. So, Mainul, what do you think?
Yeah, I have one person who actually shared the comment as a question. I think it's relevant to ask to anybody who can answer. So the gist of it is that her name is Umme. She's not joining as speaker, but I'm gonna phrase her question on her behalf. So basically, when we search anything in Google about Bangladesh, first couple of pages you always see Indian mainstream media fake news about Bangladesh. What can we do to prevent this? Even if someone don't believe in X propaganda, they might believe in news channel. Anyone want to take a stab at it? Tanvir Bhai or Sams Bhai?
A very interesting topic, because actually we have produced a report on that probably in January. I can share that link, and so that everyone will able to go through that. So yes, there is definitely some, I don't know, some kind of biasness that when we search anything, even about Bangladesh, we see the reports from India first. So Google is prioritizing Indian media stories at the first place. So this is so the report is called "Whose Stories Count." So how Google search erases local media in Bangladesh. So where can I share that? If I want to share that article with all of you.
I think you can share in our chat box or in the comment section.
I
I'm
shared
happy to.
with Kawsar Bhai in
Okay,
the chat, so that
sure.
is yes. So the ultra nationalist outlets predominantly actually fueling a global disinformation campaign and heightened diplomatic tension. And Indian media is part of the fight. I guess there is a competing voice, I guess.
I think someone need to mute, I guess.
Okay. So as we are like getting very end of this session, that's why I just shared the link. Probably at some point of time we can also talk about that. And okay, that's it.
So Tofal Bhai is here now. I think he's a late entrant. Do you have any questions, Tofal Bhai?
Just sent him a request to speak.
Okay. And Shuman Bhai, anytime you want to drop in, you're our special guest. So you just have to put your hand up and that's it. Shuman Bhai?
Sent him a request as well.
Hmm.
He may be working as well.
Right. Maybe just tuned in but doing something else. So anybody else with any last questions, or we'll just, call it?
Yeah, I have one last question for Tanvir Bhai and Shams Bhai. Thank you so much for joining this space. This has been a fantastic session, especially for us to learn about the war that we're facing. So speaking about collaboration, I wanted to hear what could help you, or both of you individually as well as an organization, from the community side. What can we do to assist in your work that you're doing? That's so important.
I guess Tanvir Bhai should start then.
Sure.
I did not hear perfectly. Can you
Sure.
just
Let me
repeat?
rephrase. Yeah, no
Yeah.
problem. So the question was, both of you are doing so much in this fight against disinformation. What specifically can our communities do to help you in this fight? Is there a public space where we can share information? Is there a standard operating process that we can also align with in becoming a network of information for you as an asset? So I wanted to see how we could contribute more in this fight.
Okay. As a fact checker and as this profession, Bangladesh, Bangladesh have 18 crore people, and we have. I think you are surprised to know that we have 25 to 26 fact checkers in work in as professionally. So this is huge works to done every day. We every day continuously work and monitor this the many social media and Indian and Bangladeshi media and many other platforms. So we have to huge work, and I encourage and that people. Whenever you see any content, you should have a mindset of doubting it. If you doubt this content can be false, can be mislead, can be misinformation. Uh, so you have thinking twice to share with your community. So this spirit can be limited by just a token of this thing. So we always say people to doubt any of the content, any of the information, and any of the news from any media. Because media can itself spread false news anytime, intentionally or unintentionally. So you have to doubt to any of the news. So then firstly you have to doubting it, and if you can do that, the job will become easier, because you initially cross check the image, cross check the information in Google search. So you can be sure by cross-checking the data, and you if you don't share any information, then we encourage that you can reach with us, and we will help you to find this the real thing, what happened in this matter. So I want to say this thing specifically, that is, you have to doubt any of the information, any of the content, and any of the image. The image can be altered, many images can be manipulated, the videos, audio can be AI made, audio can be manipulated, audio can be altered. So you have to doubt it. If you don't doubt it, the information are spreading by you, and you itself responsible for this spread of misinformation. So we always say people to doubt any of the thing, and that will be helpful for us. We say this for us because we don't want to spread this flood of information from our responsible arena, responsible people, and this is the alarming thing, that people who are responsible and who are very much literate to their field, they also spread misinformation, they also spread fake news. That is very alarming for us. So we always say that please do doubt to any of the content, and then you have to think what is this, and what kind of data is from where this data came, and what is the source, and is that reliable or not reliable, is that come from mainstream media, and which media is this, and what is the source of that media. So if you doubt this step by step, then you are sometimes you are the habit of cross-checking, habit of verifying data. So I think you can be initial fact checker. So that's it. Please do doubt.
That's a great. Yeah, I love that. Doubt, right? Doubt everything that you read, see, and consume. That's a great point. Thank you, Tanvir bhai. Shams bhai, did you have anything to add to that as well?
Probably Tofail bhai raised his hand. I think he can ask something, then I can address the question.
Sure. Out to you, Tofail bhai.
Yeah, hi guys. I'm sorry I missed most of this. I'll be listening to the recording.
All right.
So I don't want to. So you've probably covered a lot of this. I wanted to ask, how long does it normally take you from? I know that it depends on how bad the story is, but what's your turnaround times, or have you already covered that?
To tackle a specific disinformation.
Yeah, and
it probably it can take half an hour to 1 hour, or maybe if that is really complex, then it can take more than that, a couple of hours, or maybe more than that. So it depends. Actually, it depends on the context. And
sure, but within a couple of hours, you manage to get to the truth.
Right, exactly. But
and
obviously,
is that because you have access also to legitimate sources? So whoever that might be, the media, the DGFI, or X, Y, and Z.
Right. So we need to cross check with other credible sources, and sometimes even credible sources. If the credible sources is also misleading, then we have to go to probably sometimes some independent fact checkers do directly try to contact the source, so that we can have a clear idea what has been told or how probably the information has been manipulated.
Okay. Listen, I apologize. I missed the thing, so I'm going to listen to it once it's uploaded.
No problem.
And if you don't mind, I'm going to have connect with both of you guys offline, just with a few ideas I've got. But thank you so much for your work that you do. It's amazing and much needed, and I'm a massive admirer of everything you do. So thank you. And I'll reach out to you personally. Thank you very much.
Great. Addressing the concern or question from Abir Bhai, I guess. I'll try to be brief. So as from research perspective, I would say that I will start apologizing about that. I'm not on X. I feel like this place is really chaotic and sometimes even toxic. So I use that's called some kind of burner account to research on X, but I'm not very active on X. But surely after this conversation, I did not expect this much thought-provoking and conversation I'll be having. So probably after this conversation, I will try to be in touch with this community. Really amazing. And from researcher perspective, I would say that any kind of collaboration is I'll be looking forward to talk to. Like anything can be done. Like not just fact checking, because information is asset, and some of you have like lot of experiences in this field or some other aspects as well. So that will be really helpful for us to communicate and see the context and work on research and investigation and produce good work to fight against this issue. So we can actually help each other and build this kind of relationship and those people who live in America, and there are probably big community of Bangladesh in America. So how they see their experiences from the lens of their own to understand the context. And I personally will be interested any kind of research, any kind of plan, and I am happy to talk about any where our interest actually lies in. And you can contact me. I will definitely reach out to many of you for context, many of you for information, and to be part of it, part of this community. So yeah, this is my thing to share.
Yeah, thank you, Samsrai. That's excellent, and I really like 2 points you made specifically about information is asset and the power of collaboration, right? So I know in silos, all of these communities in this fight against disinformation have collected assets, digital assets, information assets. So there is tremendous amount of potential to collaborate and be able to use the same assets, right? When 3 different organizations and entities look at the same digital asset or information asset, the quality of those assets also increase, right? We are continuously looking at filtering and disassociating quality versus quantity, right? So there is so much work that is ahead of us, but I am very positive to hear from all of us here today, specifically that we are united in that objective on fighting disinformation and misinformation. Thank you. That was all for me from this question.
Okay. Awesome.
I see Shumon Kai's Bhai is on. Mainul Bhai.
Yes. Suman Bhai is...
we...
No. Next up is Suman Bhai. He was having issues joining, but hopefully you can hear him now. Suman Bhai, you're on.
Hi. Are you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hear you.
Few struggles to connect with you.
Glad to have you back. Glad everybody's back. We're actually missing this.
I don't know why it's happened, but there's a problem. I'm requesting and it says the status is requesting, not working. Anyway, the disinformation campaign of India is actually tremendous. They're successful also in many fields. I think we are far behind for them. And I think our biggest advantage is our peoples are not feeding disinformation or Indian propaganda. This is the biggest advantage of our side. But our biggest failure is we don't have better community, big scale community, or any media industries that counter them. Like they have dozens of media houses. They are 24 hours lying against us. They never report it like a UN report, a huge report has been published, but they never report it. Also, many things like a UN ambassador already here, but they never published it. And whenever anything goes wrong, they are actually publishing in a moment. Like our media can't reach, but they have already published. In recent time, probably they have a huge campaign against our military, Akbar Jaman, and many other things. Like our so many YouTubers from outside of Bangladesh, they are also working in their favor. I don't know why they are doing this, but they are doing it. And we have a lot of influencer in Bangladesh. I think many of they are not in X. So we have a liability to bring them in X. They have a lot of followers. Some of have millions of followers on Facebook, but they never speak of on X. I don't know why they are not here. Can we do something to bring them on X? I think it will help us to grow the community, also the local community, internationally and locally, both sides. There's one biggest part that we can work together. And few of our peoples, like 2 or 3 dozen peoples, I saw that they are actually working against the Indian disinformation campaign. But individual effort is not enough, I think. We need bigger community to counter them. As I saw that there is some solutions already talking about, like Sanjay, Tanvir also talked about it, and I saw Rumor Scanner doing fantastic job on this matter. Just only one group of peoples like Rumor Scanner, but we need many. We need many because of the way of disinformation. India is spreading thousands of. They are spreading in a very fast way that we are far behind. Also, like us, South Asian, all the South Asian countries is actually victim of Indian disinformation. I don't know how to counter them, and my suggestion is bring those influencer on X. This will be help us little bit.
Shuman bhai, I have an idea. Or well, you've given me part of an idea, but I hope you can, develop it more. Why don't some of us get together and do a mass appeal? Maybe a campaign. Cross different media outlets, social media outlets, and the whole target of that would be to invite people into X. Maybe a couple of hours you will invite your people and say everybody come into X, and we'll see the number of people that sign up, something like that. They have these kind of shows in the US, where the funding, how the people, like a GoFundMe or something like that, right? So why don't, I mean, you would be the perfect person to do something like that, and we would be more than happy to be with you. I think maybe in one of your drives you could get 5,000-10,000 people to join X in a matter of hours. If you could do something very very big like that, what do you think?
Yeah, whatever I can, I will contribute, and I will contact with those people who I know. But all the influencers, I definitely don't know. Personally, I have no connection with them. As a content creator reference, I can be contact with them, so it will be help.
Let's see what we can do, especially after Eid, because the whole target, I think we both discussed, right, that we have to bring more people into X, and whatever means, ways, whatever methodologies we can use, we must use to bring people in, right? That is the battle. That is the battle, because the stuff, all the fact checking Tanvir bhai they're doing, but this is not amounting to much, because even in the last episode with Shafiq bhai was saying that, look, Shafiq bhai, all the fact checking can be done, but if enough people are not amplifying the truth, then it is like a flood, the Indian flood that comes in. We will be drowned in that flood, right? So we have to have mass of people, Bangladeshis coming in, so that whatever Tanvir bhai and the other brothers are doing, with the actual fact checking and coming out with the truth, we must have enough of us amplifying that truth, right? That's what we all need. That should be our goal. That should be everybody's goal, right?
Yeah, of course, that should be a bigger goal.
Right. So let's think about how we can achieve that. Shuman bhai, you're the perfect person to actually, to lead from the front. You should be the leader in doing that. That's what I think.
I will.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Suman Bhai.
Thank you.
I believe next up, Ami Bangladesh wants to ask a question. You're on, Ami Bangladesh.
Thank you so much. Happy Ramadan to everyone and Assalamu alaikum. And Shumon, I wanted to elaborate on your point. Given the fact you have 1.5 million subscribers in your YouTube, you alone can make a content just alone on your YouTube channel and emphasize that, hey, we need to join the Twitter. You need not reaching out individually. I think you need to specifically create a content regarding why we need to join X with the detailed information, like why, here's the reason how India media working in X and what sort of, like, just simple fact, like, hey, the game is happening the game is happening on X rather than on Facebook and YouTube. That's where the real game is playing on, unfolding. So I would say, you, again, with Kawsar Bhai, leveraging on Kawsar Bhai's statement, I think you have a huge potential to reach broader people through content rather than reaching out individually, like, hey, join X. Just create a content. Maybe you could do 2-3 parts or 4 parts of a content. You're the expert on it. I don't want to comment on that, but again, thank you for the space.
I already tried it actually, but it's not working properly. I don't know why. A few months ago, I have created a few contents. In regular contents, I have a slot to tell them, please join us with X. So there is some people actually come to join me, and follower base is actually rising very shortly, within 10,000 followers, I think, in a month ago. But after that, it was a slowdown. I don't know why. Probably the reason behind is I'm creating a very small amount of content. I will creating it probably after Ramadan in a massive way. I don't know it will work or not, but I'm hopeful, and I will contact some other content creator to join X if they receive my invitation. I hope it will work massively.
Just to counter, Toin Bhai, sorry about that. Just to add a little bit more. Maybe they lose interest when they come into X. Maybe they face challenges or maybe technical challenges. Since you're fluent in Bangla and creating Bangla content, right? Why can't you just show how the feature works in X? Like in and out, repost starting from the basic feature to all the way to the advanced feature, searching filters and so and so. So you could do a detailed content on how to use X on Bangla. Maybe that would encourage more people as well. I think maybe they are scared of coming to new platform or using new tool. That's it happens. It is some sort. We have that mentality to adopt new tools sometimes. We have that mentality, but we should make it easier for people to understand how they should work, because they depend on so much on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. They don't want to adopt a new tool. So I think that detailed Bangla instruction from basic to advanced features of X, that would be helpful, Shuman. Maybe you can give a thought of that.
Okay, I will try it soon.
Thank you, Ami Bangladesh. I think that's a great idea, I guess. I think that will probably help us draw more.
That's a wonderful idea.
Yeah, Bangla-speaking people more onto the X. And the next up is Tuhin Bhai from South Africa, I suppose. You're on, Tuhin Bhai.
Assalamu alaikum. It's my privilege to join this event. I have always missed because my timing doesn't shoot with me. 6:30, Kawsar Bhai start space. That is, I used to break my fast. Then Maghrib Salah. Then I eat food. Then now I'm about to go to Tarawih Salah. So time doesn't on my side. So anyway, I decided to input my thought and my contribution to today's space. I would like to advise. Previously, I was listening, though I was eating food. Kawsar bhai mentioned that how to actually like in our dashboard up there is a disinformation. How to we fight back? I think first of all, any disinformation is not about the Indian narrative. Also, certain Bangladeshi journalists, Bangladeshi Awami fascists, all over the X, they are busy with the fake narrative and posting and distributing their garbage. We can only avoid them. Wherever we see they post, immediately we reply them with a right narrative. The disinformation will be debunked by the right information. That's how we can go forward, because yes, we understand we don't have that amount of huge population, Bangladeshi population in X, but we are growing. Day by day we are growing. We all are busy with getting in there. Like I know people, I tell them X already, some few they get into already, they have a X account. So that's how we can grow. And recently the discussion was having a Sumon and Ami Bangladeshi. It was a great idea. We can also take that initiative. But other things, my point that we must avoid, we must avoid Indian and fascist bots. Even some of they are in YouTube. We should not interact with them. We avoid them. The reason I'm saying, I have sent a video clip that I found in a Facebook. I sent it to Kawsar bhai. It's really makes me very angry that Khalid Mohyuddin, how Khalid Mohyuddin let a government advisor humiliated by someone, those who are branded Awami fascist cult, was in interview with him. So Khalid Mohyuddin, from the beginning, since he resigned from DW from German and he come to New York and open his studio, and he take a chance. He just that the Awami League have a lot of money. Now it's time to go there. I have some legitimacy in Bangladesh. I can bring them advisor on politician to my show, so I can humiliate them and I can get a money from the Awami fascism. So this is his business idea. So all the way when he interview politicians or bigger figure, he doesn't let them to talk. He let the Awami fascism to humiliate others. So we have to avoid that kind of people to join in his shows. So from the advisor and the politician not to interview Indian media. Indian media is one of our most enemy.
Tuhin bhai,
So
would keep them time constraint. Do you have any specific questions? That'll be helpful, I guess, if anybody need to address it. In the interest of time, just curious. If you have any specific question.
Hello.
can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
because it's late in Bangladesh, we want to make sure that everybody, it's during the Ramadan. So if you have any specific question at the end, that'll be great. If not, we'll probably go to the concluding remarks.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
No, I don't think to
I think
invite
he's
any
having
question.
some.
To invite, thank you for your comments, and they're well made. We'll keep them in mind, specifically about engaging the Indian media. And thanks again for making time for this space. I know it's very early and not convenient in South Africa. Look forward to hearing from you again. So back to Kawsar Bhai and Mainul Bhai for our closing remarks, and then we'll take it from
So
there.
no, I would just like if our two guests would have any final remarks today, and then we can just close out there. And again, I'll just repeat, what I just spoke last few minutes ago to Shumon Bhai, that he should, we hope that he can give us the lead in helping, people, Bangladeshis, to get into X. That would be my closing remark. I hope he can help us, especially after the Ramadan. And I would like our guests now to, say some concluding words. Thank you.
Okay. So to Shams Bhai and then Shuman Bhai, if you want to have any final words. Shams Bhai, you're on.
All right, maybe Tanvir Bhai is not here. I don't see him. Okay, so from my part, I guess I would say that thank you so much for having me today, and I'd really love to talk to you in person, representing organization, or personally to talk about anything that we are interested in, and plan out. If anyone planning anything to do to counter this disinformation issue, I'll be happy to help. As I'm not very active on X so far, so you can connect me on Facebook or LinkedIn, or maybe any other place you prefer. The conversation was really great. I'm looking forward to connect to you who are interested in disinformation and research, and also as a whole digital rights, so that we can do something good for Bangladesh, and that's probably it. And thank you so much again for hosting this, and I'll look forward to be part of this community, and hopefully have more sessions in future. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you, Shams.
Sanjay. I definitely want you to be more active on X. That's our primary thing. So I want you to be more active on X. Somebody like you. Definitely, this will be helpful for everybody involved.
Thank you so much.
Moving to Tanvir Bhai, he's back and speaker. Your concluding remarks, please.
Okay, I want to say one thing. Time is very crucial. There is a huge flow of rumor, misinformation right now. It's difficult for us, the fact checkers, to fight this alone. So everyone should be familiar with fact checking, which I previously said. Basic level cross checking can be done by anyone. So whenever you say any content, I really appreciate if you have a mindset of doubting it. So if you can do that, it will very easy for anyone to defend to spread the misinformation. So this is my this is the one thing I want to say. So thank you very much for inviting me and give me the opportunity to speak in this important discussion today. And we'll meet you soon from other day. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I just see somebody here that I was just as a listener that I would be very interested. I wanted to talk to him. Unfortunately, was so busy that I couldn't. So, Ektiful, can you come in? I think Kabir Bhai, right? Can you come in for a few words?
We'll just send him an invite. Hopefully he
Yeah,
accepts.
because he's been doing some just magnificent work, and I'm just amazed at, everything that
Yeah,
he's doing,
let
right?
let Kavita come in, but I have few words too.
Please.
Uh, uh, we saw that.
Yes.
Yes, we can hear.
Thank you. I really didn't have anything to add, but I am following the today's speakers, and everybody should. It is very interesting to see rumor being crushed, and I am very, very interested to know more about it. So I thank you for making this happen, and you continue to amaze me with all the efforts that you are doing. I think we have a parallel effort, but we have a different aim. We are aiming for entrepreneurship and helping out young entrepreneurs in their endeavors. So you guys, Kawsar bhai and Abir bhai and the rest of you and Shuman bhai, everybody's doing great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, bhai. I just wanted to, because I wanted to talk to you for like 10 days or so, but never got around to the time. So I said, at least say hi online. So I hope that's okay with you, and I'll reach out to you soon enough, and then we can have a long conversation. So
Definitely.
thank you, bhai. Thank you. Did Shuman bhai want to say something all of a sudden,
No, he had some closing remarks.
Yeah, that's what I was
So
saying. I think and then we
yeah,
can close it.
go
Actually,
ahead, Sean.
yeah. Actually, I'm trying to say that we have Bangladesh-American alliance that's working very well and also fighting against disinformation. But we have a large number of peoples in Europe, probably 30 to 35 countries there, and hundreds of thousands of Bangladeshis living there. So can we have any plan to reach them or bring them back in X if they are also available in X, but they don't know about our actually work or our activities? So can anyone actually taking initiative to bring them in X or to contact with us? That will probably help us because you know that Europe is one of the biggest market for us. Also, they have huge influence in world politics.
Definitely. Well, our alliance's website and mission statements are going up, I think, Abir, in the next couple of days, right? And
Yeah,
although
yeah.
they're calling our aim and obvious end target is to the US, but we do have wherever there are expats, that's where we will go. So Europe will be will be a destination for us. So the way I think that we are looking at it is, we have to eventually be able to be doing some promotional ads and stuff once we have more content within our Facebook, then YouTube and in X. So once we have more stuff in there, then we will start promotional activities. So, with specifically because first we need to have more of our American expats following us in X. Once that's done in a couple of months, and then we'll move to our European friends. So we do have a plan that we're going to set in motion very soon. But for now, what our target should be, Shumon, by how many Bangladeshis who are living in Bangladesh that we can get into X. That's the first target for us, because the people who are here, that's who really matters, right? The Gen Z, the future. We have to get to them first, and then we tie with the expats in the US, and then we tie with the expats in Europe, right? That's the route that I am seeing.
Yeah, yeah,
What do you
absolutely.
think? What do you think?
I think you're right. The way you explain, this is okay for the option I said. So I think this is okay.
Right. So I think after the Eid, let's make some programs. We'll try to do our best, and whatever you do, we'll try to help you in whatever little way we can.
Actually, a kind of message if you want to send our youth audience, I can be part of this because of that nearly 60 to 70% audience of mine is actually from 16 to 45 age. So the demography actually show you that how important audience I have and which age group actually. But unfortunately, our girls is not my audience. Less than 10%.
It's nobody's audience. This, unfortunately, in X and whatever, even the demographics. After you shared it with me that day, I checked mine too. It's more or less the same. It's more or less the same. And then even I asked John, and then John also shared his one. I said, it's all the
Uh,
same. It's all the same. So I don't know what's
all
going
the
on.
same.
I don't know why we cannot attract our female, families and friends. I just don't get it into it.
Yeah, I also don't know because of a large number of audience on YouTube. YouTube also same demographics actually.
Right, right. But in Facebook, I think it's different, right? Facebook, there are more women than there are men. That's what I.
Probably because I don't have Facebook that much of demography because of I have no activities in Facebook.
Right, right. This is so peculiar, isn't it? It's very peculiar. So I think we all have to work on that. Now we have the data, so we can all work on that and try to attract our female friends and see how that happens. Maybe do some messaging like that. Maybe get some women, who are very popular, and then
Actually, that is the actually main point I'm trying to say because of there is a lot of female influencers
yes,
also. Some of actually doing great job, but they are not in Facebook. Also, they don't have that much subscribers on YouTube. They have subscribers or followers, whatever they have, they actually have in Facebook. So we have to reach out them to tell them, please come on X or come on Facebook.
right.
Is a great place.
And actually in X, the way I see it, because I know some of the big American accounts, and they make tremendous amount of money. X is actually giving more than YouTube ever, YouTube does right now for the big influencers, right? They get tremendous amount of money, thousands and thousands of dollars per week. So, I mean, if they did convert here, they would actually be making more. That's the way I feel.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
this, but I don't know real demography is because I don't have that caliber to sub monetization from the X. So hopefully it will.
No, I mean, everybody has to grow, right?
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
has to
I
grow,
think
right? So
X encourages that. I think for creator, I think you must have at least 2,000 premium accounts following you. So I mean, if someone buys case, probably it'll be piece of cake given the
yeah,
I'm close
number of
to. I'm close
followers you
to,
have.
but I'm close to, but hopefully it will monetize.
it will be.
And then you can give a masterclass on monetization for rest of the influencers.
True. But I really
Let's see.
enjoyed that poster you made of me. I took it, I think, from my Facebook post, right? Me in that trench coat and wearing the sunglasses.
Yeah, that
You
looks
have
cool.
this eye
Great
for
job,
creative,
Shimon Bhai, on that.
right?
If I get the monetization, I will announce it on X and I will share the money with all of you guys.
Okay. You can be Mr. Beast of Bangladesh.
Yes, he can. He definitely
You can.
can. I'm hoping so.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, okay, then, friends, we will be closing for today. I think I love this last, this last bit of just back and forth, just addifying, I think. This is what me and Mainul were always talking about, this kind of, very light-hearted conversation, something like Joe Rogan type. So in the end, it turned out to be like that, and I am feeling very good about that. What do you think, Mainul?
Yeah, this is great actually. That will open up a lot of folks to come and speak because I think once we are very structured and have specific questions on topics, people are a little bit uncomfortable. And as you know that
Right,
our medium is English. So
right.
I think Ami Bangladesh mentioned that if you also turn on Bangla speaking audiences, we may even want to do it in Bangla. No problem with us. As long as audiences grow, we can try
I
different
mean,
approach.
what we could obviously do is like, me and Farhana and, a couple of us, we keep doing what we're doing in English, and we could have other days in the week that some of the others could do in Bengali. I mean, there's no problem.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The
We
alliance
can
is
do that.
there. We have enough members, so they
Yeah.
can be doing it. Right.
Yep. Absolutely. Thank you.
Right. So, okay, then we'll be signing out. Take care, everybody. And Shumon Bhai, Shams Bhai, Tanvir Bhai, right?
Sorry, I was having a network problem. I want to submit my question. Is it okay?
We were just gonna cut down. If it's really quick, brother. If it's really quick, I think it's
No, I just want
12:30. So
question that I wanted to ask question to our guest today, how we can get our Bangladeshi politicians into our spaces now in our in our program, so we can have a lot more discussion with them.
We will be bringing them in. I will be bringing them in. I shouldn't say our alliance will be bringing them in. But it's
Well,
just,
thank you.
yes, we will be bringing them in, but it is something that we are taking very baby steps, because our alliance, as you know, is apolitical. So we have to put in a lot of thought into the type of people we want to bring in, what kind of conversations we will have, things like that. We cannot bring in anybody, and our audiences or friends like you think that we are taking a certain side, because we are not taking a certain side. The only side we are taking is the side of Bangladesh 2.0. And we do take, being impartial, we are partial about the interim government uh, being successful. Why? Because that will develop the foundation for the future of Bangladesh. So we want them to succeed so that the future succeeds. That is the only reason. And whatever they're doing wrong, I do talk to them. Last week, I don't know if you heard about our conversation. I did say there were certain things that wrong. Certain things went wrong. Then certain narratives were, set in a very wrong way that resulted in very dire situations. So we will tell them that, this is wrong, that's wrong, but in a very constructive way. We want them to succeed. Our alliance wants them to succeed. If they cannot succeed, then the future of Bangladesh is going to be very bleak. So, and then going forward, we're going to have certain politicians come in. We've already talked about it. Our team has talked about it, but in a very positive way. So maybe we will be first talking about the reform packages. What do they think about the reform packages? What will be the economic policies of the various, political parties? If they do come into power, what do they foresee, right? Stuff like that we will talk about. We won't go direct into politics, stuff like that. So we will have very set agendas, like we had this, beautiful agenda of the anatomy of disinformation on that report that Shamsbhai had made. So we'll be very specific into what we discuss. It just isn't about bringing a big political figure and then saying that, oh, we brought that person in. No, it has to be some very valid discussion, because I think if you've noticed, all the discussions we have had have been very valid and very up to the point. With what I am personally interested is something that people can take away from that, listening to that conversation. So today I hope that people took away a lot about, they understood how disinformation is getting spread, how it's getting created. So we talk about it, but nobody really understood the structure of it, right? So the whole conversation today was basically that, right? Rather than saying, hey, that little thing happened or that little thing happened, and what was the reality of that? That's going to happen all the time. So today's conversation was about that structure. How did this thing, how do they do that? And I will ask you and everybody who's listening today to actually read Shamsbhai and his friends, that report, that presentation that we shared today. Please read that. That will open your eyes, because it's got so much more that he wasn't able to discuss, right? So with saying that, Abir, if you have, or Mainul, any last words, then I'll just tune out.
I think we're all good. Just a preview, since Kawsar was mentioning about some of the upcoming shows that we are targeting. We're also focusing to bring on topics like AI and technology. So stay tuned.
Thanks everyone. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate all the feedback and time. I know it's, across multiple time zones, so we really appreciate you making time and making these spaces successful. Hope to see you again soon.
Hope to see everybody next Saturday. So
Next
take
Saturday.
care.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.